Hi everyone and welcome to this new video about Matomo Tag Manager. In this video we're going to see what triggers are. So to make it simple, triggers are nothing more than the condition in order for the tags to be executed. We're going to see now in practice how we can implement them in Matomo Analytics. Okay, so here we are within a Matomo Tag Manager, and as you can see, we have no tags here and we have no triggers. What we would like to do is that we would like to create a tag which is triggered at a specific moment of our website, and the thing that we would like to measure today is the number of people which are clicking on this given title. As you can see, this is not a link on which we can click on, but we may be interested in knowing if people try to click on this given title in order to be redirected to something, if they think that actually this is a link and that it's sending them to a given page. So in order to test if people think that, we need to implement a tag in order to fire something and to send some data every time that someone's clicking on this specific element. So in order to do so, we will need to make a bit of investigation. So you need to do like a right click on your browser if you are using Firefox, and then you will see that actually this given part is an element which is called a div, which has a class which has a value which is site title, and it has as well a text element which is another WordPress blog. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pick up this class value, because Matomo Tag Manager will need to identify this given element out of all the other elements which are on the page. And now if we go within the backend of Matomo Tag Manager, we just need to click on create a new trigger. So the trigger is the condition that we are going to create in order to say, okay, when someone click on this given title, I want to send something. As you can see here, there are many triggers that you can select, but in our case, what we want to do is to measure a click. So that's why we choose here the click part. It's not a download that we would like to measure. It's not a link that we would like to measure. It's a click on an element. So that's why we are taking this one. Then we need to give an explicit name to our trigger. So in our case, it's main title click. Okay, you can put whatever you want, but just put something which is explicit. And then when do I want this trigger to react? I want it to trigger to react it when there is a click which is made on an element based on this class. Okay, so that's why I select here the click classes equals the value of my class, which is here site title. Okay, so nothing's complicated here. I have a click on an element, and how can I identify this element? I can identify it thanks to its class, because you can see that this is one of the few information which are available here. I could have taken this value as well, which correspond to the text, but I mean, those are, let's say, the two main possibilities that we can identify here. Sometimes we will see that some elements have more information, such as the IDs. And now I can click here on create the new trigger, and I need, of course, to assign a given tag to this trigger in order to push data. So I can technically use an event, because that's what events are made for in Matomo Analytics. So event main title click, I can call it like this, main title click. Okay, here I don't need to change the variable over here because it stays the same, right? It's still site ID number 6. And then tracking type, it's not a page view that I want to send, it's an event. And here I can put whatever I want. So I can either hardcode it and put like a site title click, or I can even use a variable. So that's what you can see up here with the icon. So variable, as the name stands for it, correspond to dynamic value. So in my case, I can technically push the class of the element because it's kind of explicit, but I could as well decide to push the variable which is the text of my element. So I'm gonna use like the click text. And if I do so, I just need now to go on the trigger part and say, okay, I want to associate the trigger, which is main title click, the one that I created some minutes ago. So here what I will have, once I will preview this, or at least publish it, I will have my tag, which will send an event to Matomo with the following value: site title click, click classes, and click text, every time that someone's gonna click on an element of a page which contain the class site title. And that's it. So now I can preview and debug that. So here I can just copy and paste this given link. I put it here, okay. And once it's validated, I'm gonna get my preview mode. So here what I can do is click somewhere like on this mountain. As you can see, there is an event which has been generated, so I'm going to look at it, and what's going to happen is that nothing is happening. You see no tags have been triggered, and the reason is that actually the element on which I click over here doesn't have the class site title. However, if I go over here and if I click on this given element of the page, you will see that a new event has been registered, and here this time it's properly triggered. So that's exactly what I wanted to have. And if I look now within the UI of Matomo, I will see that I have one event which has been triggered, which is the following one. It push the information that I wanted, so site title click, plus the variable that I associated to it, which is the class, which is site title, plus I get as well the variable value, which is another WordPress blog. And that's it for the introduction to triggers. So as an exercise that you can do is really to try to create your own trigger, try to make some scenario in order for you to test any other trigger that you are not comfortable with, and check if the value are pushed properly to Matomo or any third-party player. Thanks for watching.